So like I said, after 365 days, there's a hole under that lump. Where you see that, there's a giant hole. So for 365 days, I've never talked to the neighbor, but today he wanted to talk to me. If you could call it that. So when I asked him about the fucking body that's on his property, right? He decided to say, oh, you mean your kids? All you got to do is go push play. All you got to do is go push play. Why? Because there were 6 witnesses that wanted to say they didn't hear a damn thing, right? All you got to do is come push play. So he wanted to say the kids, so that sparked something into me. Why? Because that's the same person who slept with the ex-wife who was sitting here digging a hole talking about she can hear the kids under the house. So the neighbor just confessed to what he's been doing for over a year. The same neighbor who now has a sickness that he can't get rid of. Why? Because of what he did. And he just confessed it after what? A whole year. And you telling me 6 people was ready to help him cover that shit up? Nope. God said, pull back. He said, pull back. You got enough. What? I don't know. Just upload everything you just said, right? So this is the same person that just today, after 665 days plus, who just today also asked me, how come you're not leaving the house? What's that concerning you for? Who also wanted to bring up the fact that, oh yeah, you mean your ex-wife? Yeah, we already know that you slept with Liz. That's why both of you fucking sick. You think I care? But when we brought up about the body, he wanted to decide to say, you mean your kids? That's when he messed up. That's when the neighbor, Don, messed up. That turned the tables. I can't make it up. Hear the plane? And he pretty much gave us exactly what we needed. It only took 365 days for him to come out. Why? Because I didn't talk to this man. I stayed away from this man. I stayed away from everybody who talked to that man. You understand what I'm telling you? So now that's 666. 466 is your next number. But today he decided he wanted to open up his mouth. Why? Because Don did something that Don shouldn't have done, but Don did it for the money. Because like I said, when I got up close enough to him to look him in the eyes, I told you. Can't make this up, right? Sharp insight. When I got close enough up to look this man in the eyes. Why? Because God gave me heightened my gifts, right? Third eye opening. This is an awakening. I looked into his eyes just like I'm looking at this camera. There was no white. There was no light. And then I could literally see his face look like total. That's the first time I looked at him. First time I looked at him. In 365 days, ever since all of this started. And there's no light. There's no pigments in his skin. And on top of that, he over here trying to eat breakfast and his hand just uncontrollably shaking. He ain't never had a shake. And then I knew right then and there, you're sick. I also told him, you ain't got much time to live left. So when I tell people that if you do not separate yourself from the neighbor Don, you're going to face the same thing Don's doing. Why? Because Don took money to do all of this and pretend that he isn't doing nothing. Because when he said, you're talking about your kids that are under the house, that was it for me. That was enough. That's a confession, especially in the eyes of God. Whether nobody here else who tried to think or deny saying that they didn't hear him say something about the kids. I heard exactly what he said about the kids. I had it recorded. I posted it. All y'all got to do is push play. Anybody that's harboring the neighbor Don in any way, shape, or form is going to get exactly the same sickness, probably worse than Don gets. Because he just confessed about even spreading a rumor about my kids being under this house. Why? Because nobody got to see what I had to see the mom go through. All day, every day. The kids are under the house. The kids are in. We got videos of this shit. Like she lost her damn mind thinking the kids were in everything, bro. And since he opened up his mouth, the neighbor Don, he just confessed. Anybody being with him, helping him, being kind to him, I don't give a... You're going to get the same thing the neighbor Don is getting. Because he literally just confessed about helping spread that garbage about my kids being under the fucking house. Which means he's also liable to have called OCS and made false reports. He could have also gave people money and drugs and alcohol to make calls to fucking OCS to do no. The neighbor just confessed. Odd sort. God heard it. The Spirit of God heard it. And even the walls. Like I said, if God can make an ass talk, God can make freaking Moses talk to a burning bush. This whole house just heard the neighbor confess, which means that's more of a witness than the fucking 6 other people that was ready to lie for the neighbor. And that's just how it is.